Hard act to follow. Kia ora tātou. My name is Roger Sharp. I have been a tech warrior for about 4 decades. Today I chair a couple of Australia's largest publicly traded tech companies and Lotto in New Zealand. There is an ambitious plan being hatched to build the district's information technology sector. Tech is an ideal industry for our district because of its low carbon footprint and its strong economics. Our analysis tells us that a 20-year target, believe it or not, of $1 billion of tech GDP per annum, potentially creating 2,000 new well-paid jobs, isn't out of the question. Of course, this needs to be done in a way that doesn't compromise the local environment. Let's just start by looking at our tech sector, our homegrown tech sector in the Whakatipu. It's small but promising. We've got some great foundations in place like Remarkable's Park, building key infrastructure, QRC, training people with tech skills, Startup Queenstown Lakes, advocating for the startup sector. We've got entrepreneurs building tech companies. We've got Mountain Club providing spaces for techies to socialise and work. We've got dozens of remote workers living somewhere here, paying their taxes while working for tech companies offshore. However, there are some gaps in our ecosystem, and because of this, it only generates about 1.5% of GDP versus around 7.5% elsewhere in New Zealand, and up to 15 or 20% in a really well-functioning tech town overseas. So who are we and what are we trying to do? Well, this project was instigated by the former Mayor, Jim Bolt, during the height of COVID in early 2020, or during the height of uncertainty. We've assembled a dream team of partners to develop a strategy: QLDC, MB, the University of Otago, and global tech giant Accenture. We've done a lot of research, interviewing most of the tech sector in the district, speaking with many stakeholders in our community, visiting a dozen mountain towns in the US like Bend and Boulder, and crunching a lot of numbers. We believe it's possible for tech to generate 10 times its current level of GDP over the next 20 years, creating more jobs and capital for the community. And it can reach the scale in a manner that is sympathetic to our district and our values. We're a not-for-profit trust called Whakatipu Hangaro, which literally means Queenstown Technology in Te Reo. It's a name that was gifted to us by Ngāi Tahu, who understand that to achieve meaningful change, you need to think far into the distance. Our first product, if you like, will be a white paper, which will come out shortly, and it'll tell us what the district's economy could look like by 2043. And I like to use a simple 1, 2, 3, 4 slogan to summarise the dream, and it's $1 billion in GDP in 20 years. It's 2,000 new tech workers in the district. It's 33% higher salaries and 45% more revenue per worker. This is an aspiration based on economic analysis. It's not a prediction. It's up to us to make it happen. So how are we going to do this? Well, we need academia, industry and government to all work together. We're not relying on government, I should add. At a minimum, we need a university campus and we need 1 or 2 large corporates to anchor the ecosystem, and clearly a lot of houses. Overseas lessons tell us that success follows a highly coordinated and planned strategy, speaking with one voice. However, the district currently has no plan for tech and certainly speaks with many voices. So we will establish a technology development agency to coordinate and evangelise the opportunity to work with everyone here to achieve the goal. The role of a tech development agency should be to help create a rising tide that floats all boats on the lake. We're giving ourselves 20 years because some of the problems we face look pretty intractable, which is why you need to look at it through a long-term lens. There's a great prize for the taking, and in the words of the former mayor of Telluride in Colorado, the reason you build a tech sector in a ski town is to give your kids and their kids world-class jobs without having to leave home. 4 minutes 14.